Hey y'all, welcome to Steve's Random Thoughts, where I, your host, Steve Williams, just share what's on my mind. So sit back, relax, and enjoy. Hey y'all, this is Steve. We're coming to you from a secret location somewhere in the middle of Nashville, Tennessee. That's right, Nashville, Tennessee, Music City, USA. Did you know that Nashville is also known as the Protestant Vatican by some? Because Nashville is the headquarters of the United Methodist Church. Also, there are some Christian colleges in the area, and other Christian denominations have offices here in Nashville. So Nashville is more than just country music. Of course, Nashville is a growing area, kind of like Atlanta. And Nashville has really been growing. In the years that my wife and I have come to Nashville to visit, we have just seen the place grow and grow and grow. And they got the traffic to prove it. Nashville is actually not a bad town. If I wanted to live somewhere else, or I had to live somewhere else, I'd live in Nashville. Now, I did live in Tennessee as a child for about 2.5 years when my dad worked as a laundry plant manager in Knoxville, Tennessee. We lived in Knoxville for about 2.5 years. My folks weren't too terribly happy in Tennessee, so Dad pulled some strings and he got transferred back down to the Atlanta area, where I spent the rest of my childhood, and of course where I still live in the Atlanta area. If you got to choose some place where you got a pretty good quality of life, cost of living, not too bad, definitely not like New York or Los Angeles. In fact, several people from LA, from what I understand, have moved to Nashville. Some people were like songwriters that decided, hey, Nashville's where it's at, baby. Of course, I don't blame anybody for moving to Nashville from Los Angeles. I've been to LA. Well, if you live in LA, that's cool. But LA is just not my kind of place. I enjoyed visiting. I did Hollywood Walk of Fame and all that, and about a little over 20 years ago. But I enjoy visiting Nashville. I should say my wife and I enjoy visiting Nashville. If you're ever in Nashville, I would recommend visiting the Country Music Hall of Fame. I really enjoyed that. And if you visit the Country Music Hall of Fame, take advantage of the RCA Studio B tour portion, where they'll put you on a bus from the Country Music Hall of Fame museum, that is. Yeah, well, Country Music Hall of Fame has got a whole lot of musicians. Several of the legends are enshrined in the Country Music Hall of Fame. And you probably know a few of them. Hank Williams, Patsy Cline, Johnny Cash. Elvis is in the Country Music Hall of Fame. Now, the Studio B tour is an add-on to the country music package, where they'll put you on a shuttle bus, take you to RCA Studio B, and you can actually see that place where so many legendary artists made their records. Some of the artists that recorded at RCA Studio B included Jerry Reed. He recorded Eastbound and Down there. Charlie Pride. Elvis recorded a lot of his later stuff at RCA Studio B. I enjoy visiting Nashville, but in the end, my home is in Atlanta. Are y'all doing all right? I hope so. We're doing well here. There's a whole lot of crazy things going on in this world right now. All you gotta do is just turn on the TV, or heck, get on the internet. Of course, these days, get on the internet. Lord knows you got all sorts of stuff out there on the internet compared to what we had back in the day. It was like turn on the TV and see the news, and you saw the news maybe from 6 to 7 o'clock, or the 5 o'clock news in your local TV station. Of course, these days you got the news bombarding you on the computer. Now, sometimes you just gotta take a break. Sometimes. Just take a break. I know that after the presidential elections, I was so tired of all the politics that I just decided I'm not going to watch anything on YouTube or anywhere else that's political. I just got burned out on all the talking heads on the left and the right, and I just wanted to chill. So if you do want to chill, well, YouTube's got a whole lot of good stuff on it. Of course, they got some stuff, but I could give you a few recommendations for some stuff to watch on YouTube. If you like trains, there's a guy called Jawtooth, fellow out of Ohio, that goes around Ohio, Kentucky, West Virginia, sometimes down to Florida, and films trains. Also, if you're an Elvis fan, I'd recommend a couple of channels. Well, one is called Elvis Fans Matter, that's hosted by Elvis's cousin Billy Smith, who's one of the few surviving folks of Elvis's close friends that were called the Memphis Mafia. Billy Smith's son, Danny, and his wife, Teresa, host a channel called Memphis Mafia Kid, and he loves to answer questions about Elvis because as a kid, Danny and his siblings grew up at Graceland and actually knew Lisa, and he speaks highly of his cousin Elvis. Elvis treated them great from what I understand. And speaking of Elvis, Elvis was pretty much in my household growing up. Now, not literally, physically in my household, but my mother, God rest her soul, was a huge Elvis fan. I remember coming home from school on a given day, and Mama would have an Elvis record or Elvis 8-track blaring on the stereo, and I listened to a whole lot of Elvis. Now, I didn't exactly grow up as an Elvis fan myself, but looking back, I think I've gained a little bit more of an appreciation for Elvis. I mean, Elvis was an icon, whether you're a big fan of his or not. The man was an icon. The man was a trendsetter. He's the man that, if it weren't for Elvis, we wouldn't have had the Beatles, the Rolling Stones, or any of the other rock and roll stars that we know today. But let me tell you about one that I've really discovered recently. It's called Josh and Mama. Now, Josh and Mama are out there in South Carolina, somewhere, I don't know. I suspect somewhere around, I guess, Aiken, because they did this one video where they were trying all the different mozzarella cheese sticks from, I think it was, I don't know if it's Chili's or Applebee's, I can't remember, but anyway, they set up a little wooden TV tray out there in the parking lot and tried all these in the middle of a drizzling rain. But both these people just crack me up, especially Mama. Mama is just so freaking over the top. Of course, so's Josh, her son, but they're fun to listen to. Anyway, those are some things that I watch to distract myself. Anyway, I think I've probably gone on a little bit too long, so I'm going to go ahead and just close out this video. I almost forgot. One more YouTuber. If you're into food challenges, watch Katina Eats Kilos. That's Katina Eats Kilos. I'll have a link in the description. But this young lady and her fiance are into eating championships. They've literally traveled all over the world to do all sorts of eating challenges, from pizza to Mexican food, hamburgers, hot dogs, you name it, they've taken the challenge. Now, it just blows my friggin' mind that they're able to eat it, especially that girl who doesn't exactly look like somebody that eats a whole lot. Katina, if you're out there, girl, you rock. And congratulations to you and your fiance, Randy Santel, and hope that y'all have a great wedding and that your marriage is fruitful and that always full of love. All right, folks, that's it for now. Thanks for watching. Please like, subscribe, and share. Be good to each other. Always remember, kindness matters. And until we meet again, peace out, y'all. This has been an episode of Steve's Random Thoughts. Thank you for watching, and please check out the rest of our multimedia family at sublignavalley.us.